So in case you need to evaluate limits involving hyperbolic functions, maganda na malaman natin yung behavior ng graph natin para madali nating masagot yung mga yun. So here are the graphs of sinh x and cos x. So some exercises. Let's say you want to evaluate the limit of sinh x as x approaches positive infinity. So looking at the graph, the answer should be equal to positive infinity. So isa pang tanong, what if you want to evaluate the limit of sinh x as x approaches 0 from the left? So looking at the graph, the answer should be equal to 0. And then move on tayo sa cos. So let's say you want to evaluate the limit of cos x as x approaches 0. So yung sagot natin dapat ay equal sa 1. So you look at the y values. Let's say you want to evaluate the limit of cos x as x approaches negative infinity naman. So ang sagot natin ay positive infinity. So let's say we consider yung tan x natin. So what is the limit of tan x as x approaches positive infinity? So ang sagot ay positive 1. Limit ng tan x as x approaches negative infinity should be equal to negative 1 naman. So makita natin sa graph. So here is the graph of cos x. So limit ng cos x as x approaches negative infinity ay negative 1. And yung limit ng cos x as x approaches 0 from the right ay positive infinity. So here's the graph of sech x. Ano kaya ang limit ng sech x as x approaches positive and negative infinity? So medyo pares kasi nangyari sa kaliwa at kanan, So ang sagot dito ay equal to 0. And here's the graph of your cosec x. So what is the limit of cosec x as x approaches 0 from the left? So this is negative infinity, seen on the graph. And what is the limit of cosec x as x approaches negative infinity naman? So it should be equal to 0.